Have you ever done something kind for someone, expecting nothing in return, only to hear words that completely caught you off guard? Sometimes a single moment can sound shocking at first, but the truth behind it changes everything. This is one of those stories, and it reminded me that kindness often opens doors we never expected. A simple favor for a friend's family turned into a life lesson about trust, gratitude, and finding hope when people need it most. Stay with me until the end, because this story proves that the smallest act of kindness can leave the biggest mark on someone's heart. Before we begin, if you enjoy heartwarming stories that restore your faith in humanity, please like this video, subscribe to Kindness Library, and leave a comment telling us about a time someone showed you unexpected kindness. Your support helps us share more stories that inspire people every day. My name is Ethan, and I had always enjoyed building things with my hands. I wasn't a professional carpenter, but I loved fixing broken furniture, repairing fences, and helping neighbors whenever they needed an extra pair of hands. One Saturday afternoon, my best friend Jake invited me over to his house. When I walked inside, I noticed something that immediately caught my attention. His mother, Linda, was sleeping on an old couch instead of a bedroom. I quietly asked Jake why. He looked embarrassed before answering. My mom gave my bed to my little sister after hers broke. She's been sleeping on the couch for almost 6 months. She says she's fine, but I know her back hurts every morning. I looked toward Linda as she slowly stood up with a hand pressed against her lower back. She smiled warmly, pretending everything was okay. That smile stayed in my mind long after I went home. The next morning, I checked my garage. I had leftover wood from another project, a few good boards, and enough screws to build something simple. It wouldn't be fancy, but it would be strong. For the next 3 evenings after work, I spent every spare hour cutting, sanding, measuring, and assembling a wooden bed frame. I even stained the wood so it looked clean and welcoming. When it was finished, I borrowed my uncle's truck and drove it to Jake's house. Linda opened the door and stared in complete disbelief. "Ethan, what is all this?" "I heard you've been sleeping on the couch," I said with a smile. "I figured everyone deserves a comfortable place to rest." Her eyes filled with tears before she even spoke. Nobody had ever built something just for her. Jake helped me carry every piece inside. After nearly 2 hours of work, the bed was standing perfectly in her room. We added a new mattress that a neighbor had donated after hearing about the project. Linda slowly sat on the edge of the bed. She laughed through her tears. "It's so sturdy." Then she smiled at me and jokingly said, "We should test it. Care to help?" For a second, I froze, unsure what she meant. Jake burst into laughter. "My mom means sit on it before she trusts it." I laughed too, feeling my face turn red. The 3 of us sat on the edge of the bed together. It didn't creak. It didn't move. It was solid. Linda smiled proudly. "I guess you built it right." That simple misunderstanding became a joke we laughed about for years. Later that evening, Linda quietly thanked me while Jake was outside. "You have no idea what this means," she whispered. "When you're a parent, you always make sure your children have what they need first. After a while, you stop thinking you deserve anything yourself." Her words stayed with me. Over the next few weeks, something unexpected happened. Neighbors who heard about the bed started offering help to other families. One donated a dresser. Another repaired an elderly woman's porch. Someone else collected blankets for a local shelter. One small act of kindness became many. A local hardware store even donated supplies after hearing the story. Soon, several volunteers gathered every weekend to repair homes for families who couldn't afford expensive repairs. We built wheelchair ramps. We fixed broken doors. We painted bedrooms for children. We replaced leaking roofs. Nobody asked for money. People simply wanted to help. Months later, our town organized a community appreciation dinner. I almost didn't attend because I felt shy about being recognized. When I arrived, I saw dozens of families whose lives had been touched by those volunteer projects. Then Linda stepped onto the stage. She held a small piece of wood in her hands. It was left over from the bed frame. "I've kept this ever since Ethan built my bed," she told everyone. "To most people, it's just scrap wood." She smiled at me. "But to me, it's proof that someone saw me when I felt invisible." The room became completely silent. She continued, "That bed helped my back heal. But even more importantly, it reminded me that I mattered." Many people wiped tears from their eyes. I certainly did. After the dinner, a little boy walked up to me. He couldn't have been older than 8. "My mom says you're the guy who builds things for people." I smiled. "I try." He handed me $5 from his pocket. "I've been saving this." I shook my head. "I can't take your money." He smiled. "It's not for you." He pointed toward another family standing nearby. "They need help too." That tiny $5 bill became the first donation toward our next project. Years have passed since I built that simple wooden bed. The wood has probably collected scratches. The stain may have faded. But the kindness behind it never disappeared. Every time someone helps another neighbor in our town, I think back to that weekend in Jake's garage. I never planned to start anything. I only wanted one hard-working mother to have a good night's sleep. Sometimes people believe kindness has to be expensive or dramatic. It doesn't. Sometimes it's a homemade bed. Sometimes it's fixing a broken chair. Sometimes it's listening to someone who feels forgotten. Kindness grows when one person decides to care. It spreads from one family to another, from one street to another, until an entire community begins looking after each other. If this story reminds us of anything, it's that the things we build with our hands may wear out over time, but the hope we build in someone's heart can last forever. So the next time you see someone carrying a burden alone, ask yourself one simple question. What can I do to help? You may never know how deeply your kindness will change someone's life. And just like one handmade bed changed an entire neighborhood, your small act of compassion could become the beginning of someone else's new chapter.